This is the work of David Hockney. He's a famous California painter, but I like him because of his photography work. So he's done a lot of what we call photo mosaics, and he's pioneered this field quite a bit using Polaroids and just old-fashioned prints from photographic processing. So they take a lot of pictures, like several rolls of films of one scene, and then take it back to his studio, have it printed up, and lay it out, and make something that looks kind of like a photograph and kind of like painting. So if you look at his work, wrong one, sorry. This one has probably 400 photographs in it or more. They're little photographs. He used a telephoto lens so you could go far, and then just shot a bunch of them so that they would overlap, and comes up with this kind of unique painterly-like quality to a photo mosaic. He's actually literally gluing them to a board. So this is like very old-fashioned. This was done quite a while ago, 20, 30 years ago. This is another style that he used with Polaroids. So again, kind of has the feel of a painting. You see his paintings, they kind of match up. So what I'm going to show you though is something, you can do something like this as well if you're interested. But what I wanted to share with you today was photo merge. So what is photo merge? I showed you a couple examples when I was doing the landscape lecture. But if you guys look at the Sen website, this is Sen Hall. So how was I able to photograph this huge hall and make it look like kind of how you feel when you're in it? Most people take a picture, they can only get one little part of it.
You did a fisheye, right?
You could. If you had a $2,000 fisheye lens, you could do it that way, and that would probably work. So good point. But absent a really expensive lens, you can use this, and this is actually in some ways better because the resolution is going to be much higher when you're done. Okay, so we go to Photoshop. Once in Photoshop, go to File, Automate, Photo Merge. If you're looking at the screen now. Now, you could choose any of these different types of photo merge. I'm going to use cylindrical right here. And then we're going to go to Browse. And these are some photographs that I shot of the classroom while you guys were coming in.
Today?
So I'm going to select all of them and then Open. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now what's going to happen is Photoshop is going to render a new image based on all of those images. Rather than wait for it to go through this process, it takes a few minutes. I'm going to actually show you one that I already did. So we'll cancel this. This is what it looks like when it finishes rendering. And what you can do if you want it to look like Mr. Ryman's is you can then just flatten your image. It's going to have all the layers that you put on there, and then crop it. And you wind up with a picture that's can twist it a little to get the edges the way that you want them. Pretty cool. It's not perfect. This one rendered a little funky here. That'll happen, but you can fix it manually. But now you have more than 180-degree panoramic view of the classroom. Somebody in the mentioned, yeah, you could use a fisheye lens. Yes, you could. They're very expensive and they won't go beyond 180 degrees. This you can go 360 degrees. So this is a pretty cool way of stitching together images. You can also do, I just did one layer, you could do however many layers up and down as well. So your image doesn't have to be this long image, it could be as high as you want it to be. The trick is overlapping your pictures a little. You don't want to leave a space in between the pictures.
Coliseum. You can show them examples.
Okay. So that's all. You guys can try this on your own. You can try the David Hockney style. Be happy to show you how to do that as well. On your desktop is a folder that I put there. How to photo merge in Adobe Photoshop. So you can open that up if you want to try one yourself.
Using this software, I'm able to manage all the computers in my classroom. I can interact. I can send messages. I can lock or unlock screens. I can observe groups of students to see that they're all on task. As you can see here, they're all on task. Or I can go in and observe an individual student, and from that point I can interact with them as well.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is break into your groups. You're going to make a decision as a group what you want to use as your subject for your photo merge assignment, and as you're photographing, keep in mind that you have to overlap each image side to side and top to bottom.
So click on the first one you want me to see, and then you can just scrub through them this way. Okay? So this is for color? Okay. Let me see the leaf one. That looks really awesome.
I kind of worked on that.
What did you do? I mean, how did you worked on it in Photoshop?
Oh yeah, the level.
Levels?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like a straight shallow depth of field, huh?
Yeah.
That's how you did it in the camera. Do you remember what you did to achieve that? But I mean, in terms of camera setting, it just came out that way?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lucky accident. That's okay. Some of the coolest stuff is accidental. And to me, that's fine. Some people actually work that way, but in order to do it right, you have to do a lot of pictures. So keep scrubbing through it, see what else you got. Well, that's kind of interesting. So how did you, what exactly?
Well, I saw it on the internet and I tried it myself. It's like paint.
You put it on your face?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what's wrong with this one? Let's talk about that.
Is it the light?
That's one thing wrong. That's a big thing. So what is the light? The flash?
Yeah.
So whenever you use a flash, especially when you're doing macro, you're really close to your subject, right? So your flash is going to bounce off of the object and go right back into the lens directly. That's why you wind up with these really bizarre looking shadows and these bright reflections coming right back, especially right here. So it's coming right back at the lens. So it's probably not a good idea. Generally speaking, you want to avoid the flash. There are times when it's really useful artistically. If you're on the beach and you're underneath some kind of covering and you're photographing a person with the beach behind them, there'll be a silhouette, right? So if you use the flash, they'll come out bright and you'll see your background because it's in daylight. That's a good use of the flash, right? something like this, I think it's just going to make it look really awkward. So what you need to do, what did I suggest to the class to do when doing this at home? But what would you use instead?
Light.
So what kind of light? Give me an example. Something you got at home.
I don't have any light at home.
You don't have a lamp somewhere, like a table lamp, or so that would be perfect for this, like a table lamp, right? And take the shade off of it and just kind of aim it at your subject as close as you can get. The closer, the better, you know. And that way, you'll see a more natural kind of shadow going off to one side or something, right? And not reflecting directly back into the canvas. That's a good solution for that problem. Do you want to try that one again with a lamp? Let's try that.